on a dish. They don't say congratulations, but you know they watch that shit. I ain't even gonna get mad. I'm young, black and
welcome to Wired Axcess Podcasts, where I am your host for the plug and play. Wow, man, hold on a sec. You know, when you get used to things and you do things a certain way and then you got to pick it back up, it's all right. We'll clear that all up, but hopefully you like the introduction. This is Wired Axcess Podcast, All Access Granted, where today I am welcoming Tyrell Chatman from Lincoln North Star, the Gators, who is actually committed to Iowa State, where there is a lot of Nebraska preps that are going there, and we'll get into all that. I do want to give a shout out to, of course, the Omaha Beef, as they are the sponsor of the StreamYard for Wired Axcess, All Access Granted, Raw and Real, where if I can't make it out to where the athlete can make it, we can make it here on the StreamYard. So I do appreciate the Omaha Beef. Make sure to go check them out as they prepare for their 2026 season. It's going to get going. But I tell you, man, Tyrell, welcome to the show and congratulations on the commitment.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, I got to catch you a couple times, and I have to say what I really, really liked was the Lincoln North Star Gators got themselves back on the map in multiple sports, not just football, but of course I got my first glimpse when I came out, that very first intro there. That is actually the Wired Axcess plug and play coverage out there, where the student section showed off. They showed up, they showed out, and you did as well. I was out there for that game. And what I really liked when I watched you play, and I think Iowa State's going to get the best of, is an athlete that is willing to do whatever a team needs him to do without any regrets. And I think sometimes people get too soft or too light on the fact that I'm just this position. I'm just that position. So, of course, we're going to kind of get into a little bit about, you know, who Tyrell is and how you became the person that Iowa State's about to get here next year after your senior season. So, Tyrell, you know, you've played football for how many years?
Oh, since like second grade. Yeah, it's been a while.
You played it since second grade, and did you start with flag football? Did you start with tackle? Because I know my son, we started right with tackle over flag football.
I did like one season of flag, and then I kind of just went like straight into tackle. So pretty much like straight into tackle.
All right, so you get going in tackle football, and you're playing other sports, I take it, at the same time, kind of filling out, see what's good.
Yeah, I was busy all year round. I did baseball, track, basketball, football. I did all those things.
And of course, you get up to high school. How does your high school selection go? Because in Lincoln, there is a lot of high schools. What all do you remember kind of about how you and your family decided where you're going to go to high school? Was it location? What was the reason?
Yeah, so like in middle school, I played for the Panthers. And like we were all trying to like go to the same school, and we all kind of picked North Star. And then we also like there was some coaches that coached us on that middle school team that were going to high school to coach at North Star. So we all decided to go and play for North Star.
All right, so you go to North Star, which of course has their kind of ups and downs, right? And they're not like a big name school. You guys are trying to put them on the map. How does that feel for you guys? And kind of what was the guidelines that you're like, okay, we're going to go here. We're going to try to make a difference. And obviously it showed from what I saw last year and probably beyond.
Yeah. That was like, we had a big goal of just trying to change it around, you know, like North Star, like previous years wasn't like that good. And so we all had that main objective of just kind of putting them back on the map and like, you know, really trying to like show out for North Star.
Your student section, your guys' parent section is just really live and energetic, and that's what's needed. And I don't think sometimes people understand how important that is to a game. And you could probably talk about it from when you guys are on the road or when you guys are at home. How does that change just your atmosphere as a team?
Oh, it's great. It's like knowing as a team that we got like a strong community is just like it helps so much because they're like even far games like when we went up to like Elkhorn South, like we still had a good size like student section for it to being like out of town, and so just like having that strong community really like helped us and like backed us up.
Well, and I like that you brought that up because, of course, I saw you guys play Bellevue West, so I got to see
Mhm.
2 games this year. And you
Yeah.
guys gave Bellevue West a run for the money that they didn't
Oh yeah.
expect. And I think it was that power of the fans. I saw the momentum
Definitely.
change, gave you guys an opportunity to really take advantage of what was the atmosphere that
Mhm.
could go the other way, right? Like if they have all their fans yelling and screaming, you can't hear nothing. But when you
Mhm.
guys are having your fans there, it kind of makes it where sometimes the other fans aren't going to get as loud.
Yeah. It definitely helped a lot. We kind of like filled up the kind of like the away section, and that was just really nice to see, especially for it being a playoff game and like Northside, like they really haven't gone to the playoffs that much since we've gotten there. So it was just cool to see that.
Now let's go through your kind of your high school career
Mhm.
that you remember and what all do. How did you decide on positions? Because to me, I don't even know what position you play, and I say that with all kindness for those that are listening or
Mhm.
first time meeting Terrell here. I saw him play DB, cornerback. I
Mhm.
saw him play quarterback. I saw him play wide receiver. I saw you just line up at it all. What has been kind of your whole goal in high school, and what you're kind of who you are as a
Mhm.
position player?
Yeah, so like my main objective is to win the game, and I'm like I don't really get selfish about those things. Like I don't care where I'm at. Like I'm gonna make a difference. Like I'm gonna like play my heart out. I'm gonna go like as hard as I can anywhere on the field to try to get that win. But like I kind of had like an interesting story with like my positions throughout high school because like all middle and elementary school, I was like mostly a quarterback. I didn't really play much of anything else. I was like mainly a quarterback. Freshman year, I was also mainly a quarterback. I played a little bit of defense and a little bit of receiver, but I was mostly a quarterback. Then it kind of like flipped completely when I went to my sophomore year because I was just trying to get on the field on varsity. And so I only played like defense. I focused on DB, corner. I saw opportunity. There were some opportunities, and that's how like corner became like a position for me. And then I just kind of kept working at it and working at it, and that's kind of my story. And then junior year, I kind of just did it all. Like the coaches trusted me pretty much at any position, and then game plan, and you put me in a spot to where we could win games.
Well, and what I really liked is you said a key point that I think drives home hard if you're looking to play at any level, right?
Mhm.
At the next level. And that's availability is accountability, and you're able to find ways to get on the field. What really changed and made you think that state of mind as a sophomore? Because sometimes what happens is quarterbacks come up through the ranks, they come up through the years, and they're just like, this is what I do, this is where I'm at. Where did that change for you, and how did you really become and go, okay, I gotta make a different decision in
Mhm.
order to see that field?
Yeah, and that decision was definitely like tough. It wasn't that easy for me because like I kind of had a little bit of that mindset of like, oh, I want to be a quarterback, and like when I was in middle school, like people didn't like I had a lot of people that didn't really believe that I was gonna continue being a quarterback, and so it was like kind of like, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong, I'm gonna prove you wrong. But then like just my love of the game overall, like I'm trying to play, I'm trying to get to the next level, and then that just kind of took over. I'm like, all right, let me just play, let me go out there and play my heart out.
Well, and of course, I came to the Westview game. That was the
Mhm.
first time I got to see you on the field because, of course, my family, they all graduated. I finally got to get out
Mhm.
on the field and check some things out for Wired Access and for the plug and play coverage. And I watched you fill in for quarterback because your
Mhm.
quarterback got hurt. I've watched you jump out. But what I really liked about the quarterback position for you that is very minimal succeeded in the high school ranks is
Mhm.
composure with the ball steady in a position ready to go and your feet below you. Sometimes those two do not go together, especially at a young age. What are some of the things that you learned at quarterback that has helped you be that person that when you were needed, you were able to fill in? Because I could say, and I know I talked a little bit prior to this, Tommy Armstrong, of course, played for the
Mhm.
Beef. I was grateful to cover him there and watch him as a Husker. He was also a coach at North Star, and quarterbacks is his specialty, of
Mhm.
course. And I just felt like the mindset was him in you in a weird way. And I know some people will be like, well, he's a different guy. No, I get that. But the composure, the comfortability in that position was very majorly needed for your team. And you stood out. That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DJ K-Dub, Omar, Wired Axcess plug and play coverage down at Seacrest Field, where we have Lincoln North Star 14 and Westview 0. I'm here with Tommy Armstrong Jr., former coach for Lincoln North Star. Tommy, you're seeing the play of the quarterback that is the difference for the Gators, not only on the offense but the defense, but you're seeing them start to get things together. What does that mean for this team early in the game?
Honestly, just being able to extend plays. They're doing a great job. Terrell's doing a great job of when things not there, using his feet, getting out of bounds, being smart with the ball, getting the playmakers the ball. And the biggest thing is they're winning the turnover battle.
What happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely like my biggest thing is I kind of just trust my athletic ability. Like I know that I'm fast and I can beat the D lineman to like escape the pocket. And so that kind of like lets me like sit there a little bit and like sit there and like really go through my reads, go through my progressions and like be a little bit more comfortable because I know like I could create plays and I can like make stuff happen.
So of course you making things happen, you're staying steady with the ball. You guys end up beating Westview. And your linebacker actually gets the player of the game. I think he had 2 interceptions, Rubio. So he ended up getting player of the game, but it was really hard to see and not pass it on to you. I think there might have been one thing that I saw later, but it didn't take away from who you were. What do you remember about just your last year and what you had to do to continue to overcome to get you guys to the playoffs?
Yeah, it was a lot of adversity. It was definitely a grind, but it was definitely fun. Like I enjoyed it. I knew that like I was gonna have to like make set. Like it kind of like after the game, I was so tired. Like I definitely made sacrifices doing what I did because I pretty much didn't come out the game, and so like my body hurt so bad, and I just knew that what I had to do to like help us win games.
So of course, you go through your junior season, you guys get to the playoffs. When does your recruiting start for you in your high school career?
Yeah, so pretty much like it was like around end of November, kind of. I got my first invite for an unofficial visit, and then that's kind of where it all started to NIU. And then that was like my first recruiting journey is going on that unofficial visit to NIU.
What do you remember just the feelings that you kind of had? Of course, it's what someone would say a late bloomer, right? You're late in your junior season. You're at the end of it, but because of the hard work and the dedication and the commitment to yourself, you were able to get and reap the awards later in the season.
Yeah, so like kind of like going into the season in the summer the summer before the season, I kind of had the mindset of like I wasn't going to look at like I wasn't going to compare myself to other people. I wasn't going to look at everyone else. I was just going to do myself, be myself and be the best version of me. And so I kind of had that mindset. And so when that stuff did like happen, I was so excited. I was so happy.
Who was the first person that you told once you forgot the first invite?
I told my parents. I went up to my parents. You know, I was super excited.
Your parents, what's their college experience? Do they kind of know how it goes for recruitment? Do they understand that process? I bring that up because that's my point of my show is I was a father of 4, and there's a lot of things that I didn't experience because I was a father at the age of 18. So I didn't do the sports thing. I don't know the recruitment. How did you get your guidance from that? And what was your parents' impact on it?
Yeah, definitely. My dad was a big help. He played for Arkansas, and then he went on to the CFL, and so he kind of like been through the loop, and then he kind of understood it a little bit more, and then he helped me a lot through that, and then yeah.
So you tell your parents, and you plan that first trip to NIU. What was that like for you to go there, stepping on the field? I mean, what games have you been to before? What stadiums you've? I hope been to a Husker game.
Yeah,
in Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
You've been to some college games. What was that like for you going to your first one that isn't a Nebraska game?
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience. Just opening up my eyes, like, dang, like this is the next level, and like I need to continue working hard so I can like achieve this level.
So you get that first offer. How does things start trickling? Because of course it's off season.
Mm.
They're going to either go back and watch film, or they're going to hear through the grapevine that they got a player that someone wants, and things start rolling.
Yeah. So I got my first offer, and then about a month later, in about like January, February, it kind of like really took off, and I had like a lot of coaches texting me. So yeah, that's when it kind of got big.
And what do you think drove that for you? Why do you think, and do you think it's because, there's so many signing periods right now, right?
Yeah.
There's the December, there's the February. Do you think it was because some people committed, some people didn't? They're still looking for their 26s. What do you think kind of drove that for you?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of everything got like pushed back a little bit. Like everyone's committing like before their senior year, and so I definitely feel like a lot of colleges are like that's their prime recruiting time, and so that's kind of why.
If you look back at freshman Tyrell, or you're
Mhm.
trying to pass on your knowledge to a freshman or a parent that might be watching this, what would you tell freshman Tyrell about this process that you might have been able to start before? Of
Mhm.
course, you can't talk to colleges. That's great. But
Mhm.
was there anything that you might have learned in this quick 5 months after your football season that
Yeah.
you can look back and say, hey, we could change someone else's
Mhm.
future, but also learn from my own?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's kind of like you make your own journey. So like you got to make the sacrifices, and if you really like love it, it will like play out in your favor. You just got to give it everything you got, and truly believe in yourself, and then I feel like it'll work out. So yeah.
You get through February, you got all these offers. Kind of what's going through Tyrell's mind? What, of course, what is the things that you're looking for? Are you looking for closeness? Are you looking for the culture? Are you looking for atmosphere? Are you looking for an organ where you get all the swag and the gear? I mean, I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but those are those different little pieces that
Yeah.
can alter where you're going to go.
My biggest thing was definitely the community. I wanted to go to somewhere that had like a great culture and like just overall great people, and that's what Iowa State has.
Of course, you've seen a lot of other Nebraska preps that have committed themselves as well
Mhm.
to Iowa State. How does that change for you before you made your decision?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of just a little sense of community. Just Nebraska guys. We're all going to, or a lot of us are going to Iowa State, and it's just kind of cool to see.
Did you guys make any messages to each other? Did you guys even talk about it after the fact, or was this something that you're just like, we're going to see each other there, we're going to get to know each other there?
Mhm.
Or are you guys trying to build that 2026 team together? And I say that because, as you can see locally, the 2024 and 2025 class for Nebraska has stuck together, especially in state, where
Yeah.
they're really starting to get that motor rolling in the right direction.
I mean, yeah. We definitely have communicated back and forth, and like we got a little group chat, and so yeah, I definitely feel like we're bonding a little bit.
You make your visit to Iowa State. What made you decide to visit Iowa State first of all, and kind of how did that all come together for you?
Mhm. Yeah, so like Iowa State was my first Power Four school that was kind of like asking me to go on a visit, and so like yeah, I took it, and then I just kind of fell in love when I got there. I loved everything about it.
How important, because there are some people who are still missing, I think, that key piece, right? The official visit. How important was that for you? And what would you suggest to others when it comes to that? Because I could only say it from my own personal experience with my oldest. She went and visited 3 colleges. The last one she chose is the one she chose because she felt it. It's the
Mhm.
it factor. It's the reason you're gonna go there, not just, hey, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna have that I stayed on my chest.
Yeah, yeah. My official visit was great. I feel like I really gotta like put myself in a position where like outside of football, how would I be living? Like how would I enjoy it like when I'm not playing football? And like that's kind of what I took the opportunity for, is to see if I really wanted to go there, and everything worked out, and I love it there.
When you look at, of course, your commitment and your decision, what was it? How important was it for it being as close as Iowa State is compared to some of the other colleges? Was it important for you and your family? Was that something your family even talked about, or was it just mom and dad just saying, "You decide, we'll make it happen"?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Like, they gave me the freedom to like decide wherever I wanted to go, and so like closeness wasn't like at the top of my list, but it definitely is a benefit. You know, they get to come to like every game, and so that would be cool to see friends and family coming to the games and stuff. But yeah, they gave me the freedom to like choose really where I wanted to go.
If you look at your recruiting process and you think of something that others might need to look out for, no schools needed, just in general, what's some of the things that maybe might have turned you away from some places, whether it was just finding out if they're really for Tyrell Chatman and wanting you or wanting just another athlete to come play?
A big thing for me was just like surrounding myself with like-minded people, and just like surrounding myself with like people I have like a lot in common with. And then that was like a big thing for me. And yeah. Also like the town, like what city am I gonna be living in? Like, is it a good city? Like, is there a lot of crime, or like, yeah. So that's
Okay.
yeah.
Those are some good key points that not a lot of people think about,
Mhm.
right? You're thinking about stuff beyond the game because as people know, the game could come and go in a heartbeat. What
Mhm.
has been kind of your baseline for yourself that you're like, okay, now I'm here. Now it's time to really turn it up and amp it up. What's some things that you felt that you have to change for your senior season, not only to help your team get to where you want them to be,
Mhm.
but also prepare you for that D1 opportunity at Iowa State?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just all about time management. Really like crack down on my managing my time well. Eliminate procrastination. I feel like that will help me a lot. Just preparing myself, and then yeah, I feel like that will help the team as well.
So you're saying crack down, prepare. What's changed in your routine? What are some things? Are you writing things down to hold yourself
Mhm.
accountable? What's some things that that you're doing to make sure that the accountability is there?
Mhm.
And are you including teammates to go, hey, we can do this together if we all hold each other to those levels. But if we stop talking about it, and I say it all the time, I'm a big guy and I've went
Mhm.
up and down in weight. And the only thing that ever changes when I go back up and weight is one thing. I stopped talking about it. I stopped being about it. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, so a big thing is goals. I really like goals and setting goals for myself. I like to like set a bunch of mini goals and then have like a big goal at the end of the process. And I also like tell the team that too. Like, kind of take it one week at a time, and we kind of have a saying is like each week is a championship game. Like, play it like it's your last game. And so just kind of having those mini goals, taking it a day at a time, has really helped us.
So, of course, you're seeing what is coming in through your senior season. How did the off season go for you and your team? And what is some key things that you felt like everybody really grasps on and wanted to take by the horns?
Yeah, this off season went great for us. I feel like out of all my years, this is like the closest as like bonds that we've had. Like, we're all friends. Like, there's no like cliques or like small individual groups. Like, we're one team, and I feel like that's gonna like translate to the field. I mean, we're always at the field. We're at the pool. We're doing like activities together, and it's just like it's really like bonded well with our team.
Where does all that come from? How has this all kind of grown into become the norm and become the atmosphere that is the new Lincoln North Star? Because as I stated, I've seen it in basketball, volleyball, football. I mean, you guys are starting to compete and
Mhm.
put that pin into Lincoln.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Kind of uh like mm, I feel like it's just a community. Like, every all of North Star is just supports all of North Star. You know, we're not like as fortunate as other schools, and so we kind of just rely on each other, and we use each other as support systems. And I feel like that's helped us a lot.
What has been your biggest change this off season
Mm.
to really set yourself apart and prepare you for that senior season?
Mm, Definitely just like I've been a very disciplined this off season. Like, even when I don't have like an organized workout, I'll make sure to like hold myself accountable, get some good work in, even if I'm by myself or no one else is available, like really hold myself accountable. I feel like I've done a great job of doing that this summer.
Now, of course, you know, 7-on-7 is big and starting to
Mm.
really roll. What has been your role in 7-on-7? Is it something you partaked in? Is it something
Mm.
that you've kind of said, okay, I'm gonna just worry about what I need to do? What's been your role in 7-on-7?
Yeah, I played 7-on-7 last season for Panthers. We didn't do that many tournaments, but I'm not that big on 7-on-7. But I still feel like it helped me a little bit, just with my DB skill set. You know, it's a pass every single play, so you're really working on coverage skills right there. So yeah, I feel like it helped me in that way.
When you switched over to DB, who was your major contributor to you learning that position?
Mm,
Because that was what I coached when I was at Omaha South. I love the defensive backs. Why? Because it's a challenge.
mm.
It is one of the hardest positions because you're guessing what they're going to do as a receiver, and you got to stay in that hip pocket. Where have you kind of got your guidance on that?
Yeah, Coach Gene. He's my DB coach. He's my trainer. He's pretty much my life coach. He gives me all sorts of good advice because DB is a very like mentally challenging position because like you're pretty much the most vulnerable position on the field because like you said, you don't know what they're doing. You pretty much are guessing and you just got to react. You know, you got to run routes backwards without knowing the route. And so it definitely is a mental challenge. And he's just helped me a lot, like for the mental part and definitely with my technique. And he's coached me up a lot.
And when you think of your learning both sides of the field, how important is it as a quarterback
Mm,
to your defensive game, and how has it really helped you that might put you on that little edge
mm.
over that next cornerback that someone was trying to recruit?
Yeah, I feel like it's helped me a lot. I feel like I understand more about the quarterback and what he's doing. I feel like when I'm dropping back in coverage, if I peek at the quarterback, I feel like I can process a lot more information than a person that doesn't play quarterback. Like for example, like drops, like if he's taking a long 3-step drop, I know all right, he's probably going a little bit deeper than if he was just to catch it and then not do a 3-step drop. And then like the way he moves his head and stuff like that, I feel like I kind of understand a little bit more about that.
Now, of course, you got to take it this year to a little bit, this last year to a little bit of your quarterback side. How did you adjust your quarterback skills to now seeing from the defensive back side?
Mm, definitely. I try to like do my best to like look off people, like try to like manipulate the defense as best as I can when I'm at quarterback. And yeah.
So of course you get recruited, you're going to Iowa
Mm,
State. What was kind of the guidelines or the things that they might have told you that, you know, these are the goals, these are the things that we see you doing. This is
mm,
where we would like you because of course size matters, right? There I know can already tell they're going to want you to put on some good
mm.
weight. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think people sometimes go, oh, good weight. What like no, they're going to give you the guideline of how to get there. What's some of those things that you've kind of already figured out that you're going to have to do prior to arrival?
Definitely. Just get more athletic. I'm already pretty athletic, but I still need to get more athletic. I feel like that'll help me a lot. They like my size to play like kind of like a hybrid, so like a nickel, maybe slot corner, maybe go out to corner. They said like, well, they're gonna kind of like see once I get there how I'm playing and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's kind of what they told me.
All right, you got your senior season coming up. Well, how did the fall camp go as you guys are preparing for kickoff here in less than, I mean, it's 20 days, right?
Yeah,
22 days. You're probably counting it down.
yeah, I am. I am. I'm super excited, and everything's been going good, smooth. We've been having great practices. You know, this is year like we've. I feel like the intensity of our practices have been at the highest out of all my years being here. So I feel like we're gonna have a great season.
Of course, there's good things and bad things.
Mhm.
You can't go without one without the other. What do you think is the strength of the Gators this year? And what's the one thing that may be the downside, but not in a bad way, where you guys will pull it through and maybe you can be that support guy to help them get over the hump?
Definitely our leaders. I feel like a lot of people in the 2026 class at North Star have really stepped up, taken leadership roles, and kind of just like guided everyone else in the right path. And I feel like kind of like a little bit of our weakness is just our depth. We don't have as much depth as we had in previous years, but I feel like our core group of guys can make up for the lack of depth that we have.
I like that. When you look at your 2025-26 season here coming up, what is the game that you've already circled? What is the number one game of that you feel of the year? Of course, we know every game's important. You can't win one without the other, but there's got to be one that you circled that has put a little bit more meaning than the others.
Yeah, definitely our losses. The teams that we lost to last year, I definitely have those ones because I really feel like we beat ourselves kind of. I know it's like kind of cliche to say that and it's kind of cheesy, but like we did have a lot of mistakes, and I feel like if we just like clean up our game, we have a much better chance.
It is cliche, but admitting and doing is going to be a whole different story, and I feel you got the right thing. If you have another standout season like last year, I'm going to go ahead and bring this question up. Someone from Facebook, Kevin Anderson, a longtime friend of mine, longtime listener, he goes, is there any chance of flipping? And of course, the reason he says that is because those things happen. Is there anything, or are we locked into that Iowa State one-on-one?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot more common now. And this year, I feel like I've seen it quite a bit, but I'm locked in with Iowa State. I love what Coach Campbell is doing there. I have a great relationship with Coach Petit, so yeah, I'm locked in.
Your senior season, what is going to be the legacy and the thing that you're going to leave that you feel once you step off the field, you know that Lincoln North Star is what?
Great. I want to leave knowing that we really changed the program. We flipped it from being a 1-10 program to, having winning record, win a playoff game. That's I got that circled on my calendar too. I really want to do that because that would be the first time in school history. So,
are you going to be an early graduate, or are you going to be one that stays all the way until May?
Yeah, right now I'm planning on early graduation. Yeah.
Okay, and so with early graduation, one thing is what made you decide that, and how did you find that going to work out for Mr. Chatman?
Yeah, that was a very hard decision because track. I had a great season last year at track, and so that was definitely one of my toughest decisions I've ever made in my life. But I just love football so much that I feel like I could just succeed there, and I feel like I'm ready for it, and I'm just super excited.
So you said an important thing. Of course, I always like to stay with the sport, but track. How important was track for you? And what was that? Who did you talk to help make that decision to go, I gotta let it go? Because the decision to really get to where you want to be sometimes is the hardest and easiest. The hardest because you got to give up something you also love. The easiest because, like you already said, you love football that much.
Yeah. So I got all the facts. Like I talked to people at Iowa State that graduated early. I talked to people that went at regular enrollment in the summer, and so no one has really regretted their decision. Everyone has told me that it's been the best decision that they made for themselves. And it definitely was hard for me because track played a very big role in my life. I love track, and it kind of helped me change my mindset. It kind of got me more locked in and okay, I need to really start grinding if I'm trying to make it to the next level.
Well, I like that you brought up that part of, locking in. When it comes to grades and making sure that you're graduating, what do you think was the hardest part for you to graduate early? And what was one thing that you might have not known that you would have to do and get together before December?
School-wise, it wasn't that difficult. I already have most of the things I need to do done. And because I kind of got ahead my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't really slack off. Freshman or sophomore year, I did a good job holding myself accountable and keeping my grades up. And so school-wise, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Now, you're, of course, going to miss the second half of school. What's some events that you hopefully took advantage of your junior year that you're going to miss your senior year? Of course, there's some, whether it is maybe the girls win the championship or basketball, what's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, Still track. I'm still gonna miss track so much. Like we had an opportunity to like as a team get top 2 for state or potentially win state because our track team was great and we had a lot of great guys that were really fast. And so I'm cheering them on. I hope that they can get that dub. And yeah.
So, of course, what is the legacy that Tyrell Chatman's going to leave when he leaves Lincoln North Star in December?
Yeah. I want to be the greatest North Star Gator to ever go to that school. I want to be the greatest person to ever go to that school. I already got all the track records. I just need to lock in this season and get all those football records. And then, yeah, that's the legacy I want to leave.
All right. When you see your next destination at Iowa State, what is the goals for you? Are you looking to get in there so you can be early and partake in spring? What's kind of your timeline after graduation?
Yeah, so graduate early, do kind of spring ball there, work hard, and then just kind of see where I'm at. Just, kind of have that same mindset of like, just give it everything I got, be the best version of myself. And then that's kind of how I'm going to go about that.
All right. You talked a good chunk about the fact that, of course, there's the after football. What is your major? What's some things that kind of interests you and let people know who you are besides football?
Yeah. So I'm a major in kinesiology.
Say that one more time, 5 times fast.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, just one
yeah.
time.
It's about the human body. Kind of go like a physical therapist route, and then like eventually, hopefully, open up my own like wellness clinic for like athletes and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the route that I want to go to.
Well, I like that you said that because I just interviewed Derek Jones from Papio South, who's going to Kearney, and that was his thing was the physical therapy so he could still be around the game. Is that kind of still key for you to where you could still enjoy the athlete part of the sports, but also help people learn how to take care of themselves?
Yeah. I just like helping people. That's kind of like my big thing. Like athlete, non-athlete. I just really like helping people. And I like to make a difference. So yeah.
All right. Well, man, I greatly appreciate you accepting to join on Wired Axcess, All Access Granted, Raw and Real here. Again, we want to thank the Omaha Beef for sponsoring this with their StreamYard once again. I hope that when I put your guys' game, remember, if you don't know, the plug and play coverage is all by votes. So when I put those games out there on Twitter, unfortunately, I do have a wedding the first game, so I won't be out week 1 unless you play on Thursday, maybe. But I also have Kearney reaching out for that game as they go to Wayne State. Make sure to get those votes out. Make sure to follow Tyrell. I put his X up here. Tyrell _C_. And you could see his journey and kind of follow him and the Lincoln North Star Gators as they look to make a difference in the football Class A, as last year they made it to the playoffs first time in a while, but this next year it ain't just about making, it's about doing. And we appreciate you joining the show. And remember, like, follow, subscribe, and share this story if you have an athlete that just needs to hear from someone that has some things going for them because of the work that they done, not because of a name or anything else. It's all because the work he put in. So, Tyrell, I appreciate you. And of course, like I said, we can't do this show without athletes like yourself sharing the story and also just sharing to people what those processes are like. So I appreciate you joining Wired Axcess, man.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
All right. And we will see you guys next time.